Hail Mary, full of grace, punch the devil in the face. As Catholics, with our rote prayers and not or vocal prayers and the just set prayers that we have, which are beautiful as Catholics, and then we all have memorized as little kids, it's really, really easy to just rattle them off by memory. And we all know this. We've all had the experience of just the automatic, the praying the rosary. The Hail Mary is supposed to provide a nice background to meditating, but usually it is a nice background to me meditating about what's for dinner or what my homework needs to get done or something like that. What I want to do in this video, and at least, and then maybe in subsequent videos, is to go over one of the pretty commonly said prayers. It's not as common as the Hail Mary or the Our Father, but one of the most common prayer, the Hail Holy Queen. And I just go through line by line. I did this with the Gloria down before Christmas. Just go line by line and just look at the beauty and just realize the beauty of a prayer that we often take for granted. I've said this many times since coronavirus started, but this video, I think it applies very poignantly during coronavirus, but it also is just within the wider context of life, because I think the coronavirus, honestly, is kind of just a squat, like all of societies and all the world's problems getting squashed together, and so it's just this little microcosm of the whole world, the whole world's story and the whole world's problems, just more emphasized. We're going to just go through line by line the Salve Regina, and we're going to have the Latin and the English on the screen. In general, just slow down and think about the words that you're saying when you're praying. When it comes to vocal prayer, because vocal prayer is a wonderful thing, but it really, really easily gets to be not prayer. The prayer is lifting the mind and the heart to God. So if the words are coming out of your mouth, but your mind is like not in heaven, that kind of thing, you gotta question whether it's prayer or not. And of course, you just bring your mind back, and prayer is a constant battle like that. So we're gonna just go through Salve Regina and just take one of those tiny little steps towards making our prayer more deep, more intentional, and more intimate. Now you'll notice that the English translation on the right is slightly different than the typical thing you'll hear, the typical Hail Holy Queen that you'll hear whenever you pray it otherwise, because I did a slightly more literal translation of the vocabulary and such, because I do that kind of stuff, because I'm Latin and I am obsessed with literal translations. Because what is said in the Latin, in the original language, makes the most sense. Always. Anyway, fun times. So let's just go line by line. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Regina, Mater Misericordiae, Queen, Mother of Mercy. Queen and Mother, kind of think of Queen as overruling or whatever. But she's a queen, but she's a mother queen. She knows what's best. And if you think, oh, mother's trying to control my life, or queen's trying to control my life, or mother's trying to control my life, she knows what's best. And not only that, but she's merciful. Misericordiae, miserable heart. She is compassionate. Her heart is miserable with you. Vita dulcedo espes nostra, salve. Our life, our sweetness, and our hope, hail. Our life, she gives us life. She gives us spiritual life. She takes care of us spiritually. She also just provides for us on a natural level if we let her. Sweetness, whenever life seems bitter, she adds sweetness to life. She puts the honey in the bitter fruit. If we let her give us a little treat. And our hope, she keeps us going. She gives us the courage, the strength to go on, to hope, and to keep believing, and the courage to change what we think is destroying our hope. To you do we cry, exiles, children of Eve. We're our children. We're fallen children of Eve, and we're crying to our mother. We're asking for help. We want her to come, and we're exiled. We're kept out of heaven right now because of well, we're kept out of heaven because of life on earth, and it just reminds us that earth is not earth's not our home. The world's thy ship, and not thy home, as Saint Therese said. To you do we sigh, mourning, moaning. You'll hear mourning, but moaning and weeping in this valley of tears. We're just kind of those days when we're just sighing and just thinking there is absolutely no point to any of this. Everything's just pain. It seems everything's just something to complain about and something that's going to just make us burst into tears all the time. Think about Psalm 23. In the dark valley, I will fear no evil. We direct all of them to her, and we just tell her everything that's going on, telling her all of our problems. See, therefore, our helper and count. So down here, the vocab, I did a little other vocabs. See, therefore, our helper and counselor. When I was looking up the translation, it kind of was quick. It had this connotation of quick with urgency, just not like help, mom, we need help now. Our helper and our counselor, she helps us, she tells us what to do, she counsels us in our decisions. Turn, direct. When I looked it up, it was kind of weird because converte, with turning. It means turn, to turn with. Direct those your merciful eyes towards us. Merciful eyes, eyes of mercy. Sometimes we think of God and all of the saints and everything, and everyone up in heaven just kind of staring at us and being all judgmental and we're kind of like, oh, God's watching me, and that's not a good thing. We have a sign in my house that says, I saw that God. Like, that kind of is a not fun connotation to it, but just Mary, who reflects God perfectly, has merciful eyes, and has merciful eyes looking upon us. And we're just asking her, look with those merciful eyes on us. Just see us in our misery, and just love us, please. Et Jesum benedictum fructum ventris tui, nobis post hoc exilium ostende. And Jesus, the blessed fruit of thy womb, after this exile, reveal to us. Reveal Christ to us. After we've been pushed, our exile life on earth, but also, like I said, coronavirus, we can't see Jesus. We want to see Jesus, and we're begging Our Lady, show us Jesus, reveal Jesus to us. You carried him in your womb. You were the first monstrance. You were the first one to receive him into your body like we want to do. Please show him us as we're being exiled, as we're wandering, and we don't know what we're doing. We're wandering, but we're stuck at the same time. The blessed fruit of thy womb, the fruit means union. There's always union, and the womb is a place where it's supposed to be union and fertile and fruitful and just growth. And she carries Jesus in that womb, and as he grows in his humanity, but she also will then, Jesus gave Mary to us as our mother at the foot of the cross, and so she then is our mother and carries us in her womb and nurtures us and gives us spiritual life. O clemens, O pia, O dulcis Virgo Maria. Now I have a bunch of different. I was looking up what the clemens, pia, and dulcis meant in the what I used for translating my Latin homework. And these are a bunch of the adjectives, not all of them, but a lot of the adjectives or the synonyms that came up when I typed in these words. So we translate them as O clement, O loving, O sweet. I looked them up, and the clemens, merciful and loving. O loving, O pia, faithful, righteous, good, affectionate, tender, devoted, loyal to, pious, devoted, or devout, holy, and godly. Pia. Just look at all of those adjectives. Those describe our mother. Oh, sweet, kind, and dear, and affectionate, and just wonderful Virgin Mary. This purity that she has, Virgo Maria, the purity. We associate virgins with not having relations, not being married, not being not have had sex and not being, not having a spouse yet. And the fact that, well, she did have a spouse, Saint Joseph, but he also, tradition says, was a virgin as well. And this virginity opens Mary up and makes her completely available to God and put at God's disposal to nurture as a mother whoever he asks her to. And he asks her to mother all of us. And she says yes. She said yes to mother Jesus at the Annunciation. She said yes to nurture, to mother us, the church, at the foot of the cross. And so her virginity allows her to be totally available to us at all times. So that's the end of the Salve Regina, clearly. Father Peter John, in his book, The Mysteries of the Virgin Mary, he says at the beginning of the chapter called Mary the Mother of God, the Mother we need for life. The very first lines are, Adam was the only man in history who did not have a mother. God saw what a mess it got him into and made sure that never happened again. As a result of Adam's sin, God would save mankind and salvation would have a mother. And I know the whole thing was on the Salve Regina, the Hail Holy Queen. But at the same time, it starts out with Queen, but the second word is Mary. Or the second word is Mother. And that's what we have to remember, that she is both. I've never really liked the idea of Our Lady as Queen. Because, that just seems so off and distant. But then realizing, just put off and push it off. But at the same time, just realizing that she's mother and queen. They're tied intrinsically the same. In ancient Israel, the queen wasn't the wife, it was the mother. So it's the same thing. That's how Jesus established his church, and says the queen is going to be my mom. That's kind of cool. And he invites us to accept her into our homes, as he said to St. John at the foot of the cross, Woman, behold your son, son, behold your mother. And from that hour, the disciple took her into his home. He invite Mary into your home, invite her into your heart, let her mother you, and whenever you pray to her, whenever you pray the Hail Mary, because that's another super powerful prayer that we really take for granted, even more than the Salve Regina. And whenever you pray the Salve Regina, just think about what the words mean, and think about how Our Lady is mothering you and bringing you life.
Salve Regina, Mater misericordiae.
I hope that video helps you become a little more attached to Our Lady, and just put a new perspective on prayer, and especially the Salve Regina. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, thoughts, feelings, desires, anything, ideas for videos, put them in the comments below. I'll do my best to respond. And with that, get holy and have fun doing it.